We are live. How's everybody doing tonight? Shout out to everybody watching live on the Instagram or on the replay on YouTube, wherever you're watching it. Thank you for joining. If you like what you're hearing, if you like the content in general, get a video a thumbs up, get a video some hearts, do whatever you can do on the platform that you're viewing me. I appreciate y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. What's going on with you guys? Shout out to Miles. Miles says, Anthony, huge fan of yours. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Big Daddy Blake, what's going on? Shout out to you. Thank you for joining. Shout out to everybody coming on in. Okay, nice little crowd earlier. That's what I'm talking about on a Tuesday. Sorry for not being here last Tuesday, but you know we had the whole State of the Union address last week. So that's what I was doing on YouTube. Sam says, ABL, I've been watching you for like 8-9 years, back when I was in high school, year to go. Hey, man, shout out to you. We got an early adopter. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. El Chumbo Customs, what's going on with you, boss? Thank you for joining. Jenna says, how do you feel about Candace Owens series on Erica? I've not been watching. The way I feel about that series is like it's girl talk. It's just girl talk. It's not for me. It's for the women. You know, like people, like women that I know, they really into that. Nothing against the young ladies. Shout out to the young ladies, but I don't feel like that series is for me. So I tune out of it, respectfully. But, you know, I like Candace, though. I ain't going to hold you. I'm not going to sit here and, like, turn my back on. I like Candace. Candace is a good person, but she's just a girl at the end of the day. That's just my humble opinion. We can get into that a little bit later, but that's just how I feel. So shout out to her. Jay Marie says hello from Texas. Shout out to you. Thank you for joining. Chesa coming from Australia. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name up. Coming from the land down under. Coming from Eyes. Shout out to you. 03 Forrester coming from Washington State. Thank you. JWMP says, Wump says, bring the common sense. Thank you. I appreciate you for rocking and rolling with me. All right. George says, thanks for all the good work. Hey, no problem. I got you. I'm here for y'all. I'm here for y'all, so thank you. Wump says, love the way you think and approach everything. Thank you. I appreciate you for that. Miss Mojave says, hi, ABL from Illinois. Shout out to Illinois in the building. All right. Shout out to Illinois. Shout out to you guys rocking and rolling with me. I appreciate y'all on a Tuesday. Smellytron says, hey, what's going on, Smellytron? Thank you for joining. To my boy, shout out to you, boss. I appreciate y'all for being here. You know you guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Ochumbo Custom says, I wish I could have retired from the Army under Trump. My discharge documents have Obama. Oh, man, that's too bad. That's too bad, man. It would have been great to have Trump in there, wouldn't it? Smellytron says, come on to show some love. I appreciate that. Miles says, Anthony, are you a Falcons fan? I'm not really a football fan at this point. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not really a big sports fan right now. I might watch some highlights occasionally on my phone, but I'm not really into sports. Now, my football team was Minnesota Vikings because they drafted Randy Moss. And y'all may or may not know, I'm born in Rand, West Virginia. This is where Randy Moss is from. Okay, so he's like a hometown hero to all of us, my whole family on both sides. When Randy Moss got drafted in 1998, I'll never forget it. I'm 14 years old. When he got drafted to the Vikings, it was like a holiday. It was like Jesus came back. That's how big it was for my whole family. Imagine being from a small town of 1,000 people, and then your guy from your hometown gets drafted to the NFL, and he's like the best player to ever do it. He's like top 3. But I think it's probably him and Jerry Rice that's like 1A and 1AB. Some say they prefer Jerry Rice. Some say they prefer Randy. But to have Randy in the conversation and be from a real small town like that is everything. So I was a Vikings fan for that reason, but I've not really been a sports fan lately. Smellytron says, remember, I'm still offering to take you around the bad parts of LA. First round of tacos on me. I got you, man, for sure. Next time I'm out there, I'll definitely hit you up. And I know I'll be out there again sometime soon. You know, they might try to call me. They might try to, hey, can you come on? Hey, no problem. One of these podcasts and whatnot, when they call me out to LA, I say, let's go ahead and get her rocking. El Chumbo Custom says, how is Crockett doing in Texas election today? That's a good question. I'm not really sure. That's a really good question. If somebody knows in the chat, y'all inform me. I just don't know. Yusef Curry says, what's good, ABL? Been a minute since I've been on. Well, shout out to you, Yusef Curry. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for joining. It's all good with me. Jack says, hey, ABL, do you think we have a problem in the general election in Texas? I'm not trying to live in the blue state. Well, What you mean for the Senate race with Jasmine Crockett? I mean, that's going to be an issue because Jasmine Crockett, in my opinion, is the most popular person in the race. James Tallarico, to be clear, we're talking about a Democratic primary with Jasmine Crockett. It's not about Jasmine Crockett being a nominee, but Jasmine Crockett could be the nominee because James Tallarico is not really an authentic person. That's a creation from the Democratic Party they're trying to push and elevate because they see star power, but there's no real organic push. Jasmine Crockett has the star power, the name recognition, all the above. She has everything. So it's going to be hard to beat her in the general election. Well, pardon me, in the primary election. Now, when it comes time for the general, it depends on who the Democrats are going to go against. It depends on who the Republican nominee is going to be. Is it going to be Ken Paxton? Is it going to be Wesley Hunt? Is it going to be the incumbent? I forget his name. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Who is it going to actually be in that seat? Who's going to be the nominee from the Republican side? Depending upon who they select will be who wins the actual seat. Cornyn, I believe his name is, that's the incumbent, the Republican. If it's Cornyn against Jasmine Crockett or Tallarico, I think Cornyn wins. If it's Wesley Hunt against Jasmine Crockett, Jasmine might get that. If it's Jasmine Crockett versus Ken Paxton, Jasmine could get that because Ken Paxton is controversial. So we'll see. We shall see. We shall most certainly see. But if it's Jasmine, don't be surprised. And if it's not Jasmine, look for her in 2028 in the presidential election. Look for her. You heard it here first. Whether she's going to be running for the president, vice president, something, you will see her again if she doesn't succeed in the Senate race. All right, so shout out to you guys. Jenna says, do you follow Valentina Gomez? I don't. It's kind of cringe. It's kind of performative. It's kind of fake. It's like she's an actress, pardon me. I'm not really a fan. Nah. And I don't know her, never met her before. She could be a perfectly nice lady, but from what I see on social media, it gives me a bad taste in my mouth. I don't like it. And ain't gonna hold you. But nothing against her. I don't know her. I don't really know her. I'm just saying what I see, I don't like. Simple as that. Now, she could improve whatever she's doing, and she could improve in my eyes. But as of right now, the shock tactics and all of that extra stuff, it just seems kind of fake. Brian says, what's my thoughts on how President Trump dealing with the Spain situation? I don't know all the details. This is a good question. I don't know all the details about what's happening with Spain, but I did see a video where he's talking about Spain's not doing right. I think what it boils down to, and again, I'm not really familiar with the whole situation, but from what I've seen so far, before I do my full research, is that Spain did not want to be a staging ground for any attacks on Iran. So Trump's like, all right, well, you don't want to help us. We're not going to help you. Let's cut off the trade. That's kind of what it seems like, but I'm going to look a little bit more into it because he said that they've been bad for a while. They've done other things. So maybe it wasn't just the Iran war staging. Maybe it wasn't just that. Maybe it was other things as well. I'm not really sure, but we'll see. We shall see. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Smellytron says you should do Just Lee Peterson's show. While here, DJ Big Daddy Blake says, please not her. I'm not even from Texas. Hey, you know, it can happen. Yusef Curry did not know Ken Paxton was controversial. He is. He is, because he's had some issues. And the race is going to come out. But the only thing about Jasmine Crockett that would save Texas from her is Democrats themselves, because the Democrats don't want Jasmine. The Democrats want James Tallarico. So even if she succeeds in the primary election, they may not support her fully and have her lose on purpose. But then again, they could do that as a strategy to boost their name up to get it ready for 2028. So look out for that. Like I said, if it doesn't work in this year in the Senate race in Texas, 2028, she's still going to be there. And she's going to be a difficult opponent, in my humble opinion. Now, I mean difficult opponent in the primary race to become a nominee, because again, I've said it before. Who do the Democrats have in 2028 that could be the nominee to run for president? On the Democratic side now, who do they have? Let's talk about it briefly. You got Jasmine Crockett, Stephen A. Smith, Gavin Newsom. Who else? Pete Buttigieg. Are they going to try to do that again? Are they going to try to do Kamala Harris again? I mean, who else is there? AOC? Are they going to try to do that? I mean, the pickings are slim. The pickings is super slim. So out of that group, it really don't even matter. You could pick Jasmine Crockett or, I mean, and at a certain point, if you put Jasmine Crockett and Gavin Newsom in the room and have a debate, he'll look foolish because of his appearance and his manner, the way he is. You see, they should have run Gavin Newsom already. He should have been in the race, but he's not been in the race. He's been over there in this little California fiefdom. Why? Because they know he cannot do well on a national stage. It's the same thing going on with J.D. Vance. Trump wants a successor, and that's Marco Rubio. That's why Marco Rubio's doing everything. Marco Rubio is the king of Greenland, the prime minister of every Greenland, Cuba, Venezuela, Iran. What's next? Space, the moon, Mars. Every time Trump wants something done where it's not him that's talking, he sent out Marco. You don't see J.D. Vance at all, and there's nothing against J.D. But they know that J.D. Vance is not ready. J.D. Vance is my age. I'm 41. Yeah, I know I got a great beard. Imagine that. A guy that's 40 with a great beard, you know, from doing things in his life. But anyway, they know that Marco is going to be a better pick than J.D. Vance right now. They know it. And on their side, they know that Gavin Newsom would not have been a good pick. They figured a half-dead Joe Biden was a better pick than Gavin Newsom. As simple as that. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on coming up here soon. Always 100, MJ says, OMG, I caught it live. Love you, Anthony. Been watching since 2017. Wow. Shout out to you. I appreciate it. Early contributor, early adopter. Thank you. I appreciate you. You know, I couldn't do any of this without y'all, so appreciate y'all. What's going on, Clayton says, Cuzzo? I'm telling you, hey, ancestry, and you never know. We got the same great grandma or something like that. Who knows? What's going on, Rose? Thank you for joining. Thank you. Miss Mojave says UK not being very helpful as well. Yeah, UK sucks. UK, like Europe, I'm not, you know what, Europe, and if you're watching Europeans, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for being here. Thank you from wherever you are in the world. You could be in Africa, Europe, Asia, South America, North America, Antarctica, North Pole. I don't care where you are in this world. Thank you for watching. However, I am not impressed with European countries. I'm not impressed with Europeans. The whole Delroy Lindo Tourette's thing was a complete mess, totally embarrassing. Obviously, it was done on purpose to make some money. Clearly, that's what it was. But they don't get it. They don't understand. Their populace is brainwashed. They got the populace over there in Europe and UK specifically watching not one, not two, not three, but 4 documentaries and a movie about a guy with Tourette's. Do you not have any other entertainment? It ain't nothing else going on other than that. So then when someone says something about your sacred cow, you want to attack like a lion with a fresh pack of meat right in the center of the ring because you've been trained to do so. But you've not been trained to use your analytical mind and your deep thinking mind to look at this and say, you know what, that might not be real. I might be getting scammed right now. I'm not impressed with the European people. Not all, but a lot. And it's just like over here. We have our people over here that I'm not impressed with. Your big septum ring, blue hair weirdos, the big 1,000-pound Antifa tanks in the front line. Yeah, those people, I'm not impressed with them either. And I think you got a lot of those over here and over there. I'm not quite sure how many you got percentage-wise over here versus over there. We might be at about 40% abnormal, irregular over here. Over there, 60%. And then on top of that, they got a low birth rate and they're bringing in a bunch of these migrants from X, Y, and Z stand somewhere nondescript. Okay, all the stands, Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Blue Menistan, Green Menistan, White Menistan, Pink Menistan, from all the stands. To the point where your United Kingdom, your France, your Germany becomes Afghanistan, Pakistan, whatever it stands. And shout out to you guys who are out there. But if you are leaving Lahore, Pakistan to go to London, UK, I don't think you want London, UK to become Lahore, Pakistan because you would have stayed in Lahore, Pakistan, correct? Maybe I'm just not very smart, but I think that makes sense. What do y'all think? I think that makes sense. What do y'all think? Q's, I ain't gonna try to pronounce your name, bro. Q's says, wanna have a snowball fight? I think not. I think not. I'm not trying to get hit in the head with no ball of ice and get a concussion. Yeah, I saw that DJ Big Daddy Blake. Trump was happy. Trump did not like what's going on with UK. Trump was not very happy with the UK at all. He kind of echoed some of my sentiments. And when I say things like this, I don't mean to attack anybody, but I challenge people to improve. I challenge you to get better. If you got some issues over in UK, things ain't really going right, I challenge you to fix it, tighten it up. You can do it, you can improve, but right now, not very impressed at all with these people. El Chumbo says, I'm disappointed with the new VA leadership for Spears. Bummer. 03 Forza says, don't like any of those. Cleisha says, they better not with Kamala again, cooking greens in the bathtub. Hey, they might, because they don't got nobody. I was saying that last time. They don't have nobody. And they have had time to groom people. See, they focused on trying to cheat and do all kind of sneaky stuff where they should just get somebody prepared. They're trying to push this guy, James Tallarico, up there. He looking like, howdy doody. That ain't going to do it no more 2026. You got to figure something else out. He got to be a little bit quick on his feet. He got to be snappy. He can't be no automaton out there like he's a puppet. That ain't going to work. We could see through that at this particular point in time. The generation previously may not have been able to see through it, but we can. So update your strategy. That guy ain't going to get it done. Maybe you're doing some kind of Jedi mind trick trying to make people hate Jasmine Crockett. And then ultimately, that hate watching will make her become more famous, therefore more desirable to become the nominee. The problem is, are we dealing with a big brain or are we dealing with a smooth brain? I can't tell. And if it's the latter, then we in big trouble. Race, identity, or whatnot aside, we going to be in some big trouble if she a smooth brain rather than a big brain, you know? But shout out to you guys for watching. I appreciate y'all for being here. If you like what you're hearing so far, get a video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That helps out tremendously. All right. Yusef says, did you hear Rubio, the supreme leader of Iran now? Hey, pretty much. Smellytron says, I want Nicaragua taken out next. Hey, it might happen. Mexico, Nicaragua, all of that. What else? Colombia. There's a lot of places, you know. There's a lot of places that want change, but we can, okay, you know what? Here's something. Now watch this. The Americans can depose your leaders, but what are you going to do after that? Do you want us to run it as Americans, or do you want to maintain your sovereignty and you run it? If you want to maintain your sovereignty, okay, then who's going to run it? I saw something where they elected Ahmadinejad's son, I believe, to be the next guy. I mean, I'm not sure how legitimate that is. Was that a national election? So they just, was there an election of the people where they say, okay, let's go out and campaign and we're going to pick this guy? Did that happen? I don't think so. So I'm not sure how valid that is. But the point is, who are you going to have to run the show? That'll be my question. 1K Scorpio says, JD got plenty of time, but Narco is the guy for me. That's what I'm saying. And JD does not have that much time. It's 2026 already. The election is in 2028. It'll be here before you know it. It's less than 2 years. 2028 will be here. And the midterms are right now. So midterm time, you need to be rolling out your presidential candidate. The presidential candidate field should be pretty apparent by right now, like 2027 at the latest. And we already in March of 26. So the time is ticking. It'll be here before you know it. It'll surprise you. You'll be like, wow, is it here already? Yes, it's here already. Cuba next. Hey, Cuba. Yep. Cuba's going to be next. Now, North Korea, that's a tougher one because North Korea is being kept that way by China and Russia. And China specifically, because China does not want the U.S. influenced and backed South Korea to become butted up against their border, because that will influence their people to make little border towns and try to go over there and become more American. It's like they're trying to they're trying to prevent the spread of Americanism the same way they try to prevent the spread of Islam. That's why they put the Uyghurs in the camps, because the Uyghurs from them stands over there, Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Greenmenistan, Bluemenistan, they're right over there in the far west. So they want to keep that border pretty secure and not allow the Muslim influence to spread across China, because then they're going to become Afghanistan. And they don't want the American influence to spread across China, because then they become Mexico. You get me? They become Mexico. And they don't want to be that. They want to be their own thing. So that's just what that is. That's why North Korea is like a buffer in between the U.S. and China, essentially. Miss Fine Vine says, happy Tuesday, ABL. Shout out to you, Miss Fine Vine. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you for rocking and rolling. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Always 100 MJ says, Europeans are like Minnesota. Yeah, I see that. I see that over there, for sure. People are soft and just kind of let anything go on and believe anything. Easily fooled, manipulated, scam. That's why they let the whole of Somalia come to Minnesota specifically. I mean, they're in other parts of the country as well, where they're also kind of silly, but their home base, their headquarters is right there in Minnesota. It's probably more Somalis in Minnesota than in Somalia, almost. Not quite, but almost. Matter of fact, it might be. It might be more Somalis in Minnesota than Somalia. Who knows? If it's not, I can't tell. I cannot tell. Remember this guy? I'm the captain now. Where was he from? Minnesota. Exactly. They probably did a casting call. It's like, all right, we're going to do this movie called Captain Phillips, right? It's about Somali pirates. Now, we want you guys to be able to understand English, speak it in English, because we got to be on the set. You with Tom Hanks. You guys speak these English lines. Okay, cool. We got to get somebody that has that look, has a, you got to have that accent, right? But speak it in English and be in the USA. So where are we going to go to do a casting call? Okay, Mall of America, boom. You do that on one day, you're going to have 5,000 guys, a lot of what bar, all in the mall. You understand what I'm saying? So then they pick the guy, I'm the captain now, and the rest is history. And the rest is history. See? Yeah, shout out to that dude, though, wherever you at. Shout out to you, bro. That was an iconic scene. No hate, no racism. I'm just saying. It was an iconic scene. And it said that he had improv that. It wasn't even really a thing in the script. He was just like, I'm going to just do that because why not? And, hey, it was a good decision. Shout out to you, Mr. Somali pirate actor. You were great. All right, let me see some more questions here. Ms. Fine Vine says, did you see Mom Donnie is giving free taxpayer-funded childcare to illegals in New York City? Ms. Fine Vine, I'm going to do a video on that tomorrow, so look out for it, my 2 o'clock video. Now, not only did he give free taxpayer healthcare to illegals, it's also not free, of course. It'll cost $75 million the first year. In the second year, it'll cost $575 million, over $500 million, and it'll only be in 4 neighborhoods. Talking about some, but you got to provide documentation that you live in these neighborhoods. Oh, okay. So to go vote, I don't need no ID, no proof of citizenship, no nothing. I just go in there and say, yeah, my name is Bill Gates. Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to New York and say, hey, my name is Zoran Mamdani. Let me vote. I'm the mayor of New York City. I identify as the mayor of New York City. Give me the ballot to vote. And I'm going to vote for the Muffin Man. I'm just going to be a write-in. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. The Muffin Man, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on my ballot. And what you going to do? Sir, when you see some ID, oh, no, you can't do that. I thought that it was illegal to ask for my ID to vote. Anyway, I digress. They pick and choose what they want to do because they want to have that door open. They want to have that avenue open to cheat if they want to. But anyway, Mom Donnie's going to ask for various forms of identification, proof of residence, proof of this, proof of that, to get this so-called free childcare in New York City. And it's paid for by the taxpayer, and it will also service illegal aliens. Now, if you're here illegally, how do you have proof of residency? How does that really work? You're not even here legally. How are you able to have a legal place of residence when you're not here legally? I don't know. It's just weird, but hey, all of us told the Mom Donnie voters what it was going to be. Didn't we say it? We said, hey, all these free things are not going to be free. All these promises will be paid for by the taxpayer. And they're going to try to tax the rich. Good luck with that. If I got a big bag of money, you ain't going to take none of my money. You talking about okay, we're going to take 2%. I bet you're going to take 2% And my hind parts, when I walk out, you're going to take 2% of my hind parts. You're going to see 2% of my hind parts as I'm walking out the door. Okay, that's what you're going to see. You're not going to get 2% of my money. You're going to see 2% of my hind parts as I'm leaving. That's what's going to happen. Okay, I'm not going to pay you no more money to live in this roach motel, decrepit rats, roaches, dope fiends everywhere, open crack smoke, weed smoke. I'm good. Don't worry about it. I'm going to go to Florida and play golf with Trump on Doral. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. For a lot cheaper, and it's going to be a lot better weather. I'll be a lot happier, and that's it. So if I'm uber rich and I choose that option rather than being tax debt in New York City, those who are remaining will pick up the tab that I refuse to pay that was unfair to give to me. And it'd be even worse on them because they'll get squeezed more and more. The middle class is hanging on by a thread. They're hanging on to the rich for their job and hanging on to the poor to support them. They're getting stretched in the middle. You're going to stretch them that much more. How much can they take till they break? How much can they take till they break? Listen, I'm from Virginia. A lot of people that I went to school with are from New York. They got pushed out back then. Half of my class was New Yorkers. Okay, everybody from New York. That was just the main thing. Everybody came to Virginia. Teddy Riley, everybody came to Virginia. It'll be the same thing happening again. So the question is, what will the new New York City look like? Wealthy people and migrants of fiefdom, just like California. That's kind of what it seems like. But hey, what do I know? What do I know, right? El Chumbo says Tim Walz finally came out of hiding with a tweet after the attacks on Iran. I wonder why. Hey, he might as well just go ahead and stop because nobody cares. He has no relevance anymore, in my humble opinion. So, he should just go ahead and just stay out of politics, in my humble opinion. But hey, people do what they want to do. Miss Mojave says, sure don't miss Sure don't miss Kamala's word salads. Neither do I. Because them salads are not nutritious. It ain't had no carb. It wasn't even no carb salad. We ain't had no egg, no bacon bits, no vinaigrette, no croutons, no cheese, no protein, no nothing. Just straight up iceberg lettuce, expired, McDonald's style. Can't do nothing with it. A word salad with zero nutrition. I can't do nothing with it. Nothing at all. But shout out to you guys again for watching. I appreciate y'all. Mr. Muhammad, shout out to you, boss. Says, hello, Anthony. Thank you for joining. Rose says, JD is in a position to learn from Trump and Rubio. He can learn, but we don't have that much time to make him be what he's supposed to be. It's like you got a car that's already ready to go. It's road ready. You hop in the car, ignition turn, you ready to go. Okay. Now with JD Vance, you hopping in the car, it's like starting a lawnmower. It ain't gonna start. It's like a pressure washer, a lawnmower, something like this. You crank it in. It's like that. It's like, bro, I don't have time for that. I want to just push the button and it come right on. I don't want to go through all that trying to fix something, trying to make something work that's not working at the optimal level. I want what works right now at the optimal level. Now, if they run JD, I understand because he is the vice president and that it makes sense. But I want Rubio. Trump, if you can hear my cry, please. Trump, if you can hear my cry, please endorse Rubio. Please do your best to make sure that Rubio is the 2028 presidential nominee. Please. That's all I ask. And put it to the American public like this. He's already got 18 jobs and he's the best at it, so you can't fire him. Let him stay on. But shout out to you guys again. I appreciate y'all for being here. Always 100 says JD is too young. He will have his day when he is more experienced. Exactly. JD is my age. I'm 41. He's 41. And Marco Rubio, 55 years old. He's much more experienced, much more seasoned, understands what to do better. He's better overall pick, in my humble opinion. But nothing against JD. I don't want it to be like ABL hates JD Vance. It ain't like that. I'm just being honest. All right, hold on. I'm gonna tell your name up, and I'm sorry. Goli says, always thought about it. Do you think there's a small chance that we might not even have a next election? I don't know where that comes from. I've seen that question quite a bit, and I'm not quite sure if you have seen what others have been saying. Oh, it won't be an election. Why wouldn't it be an election? That's like nothing against you, boss, but it's like a fear-mongering tactic. It's fear-mongering because They were saying that, they've been saying that for a while. Oh, Trump won't leave office. It won't be an election. It's just fear mongering, and I don't really pay fear mongering any mind. I don't pay fear. If there's no election, then we're going to be in a different place to where the election won't matter. If there's no election, we're going to be in a place to where an election won't matter. You'd be worried about food and water. So I don't really see that being a thing. I don't see that being a thing. Okay, and it'd be massive. It'd be massive civil unrest if you did something like that. So I don't think that's going to actually be the case. That'd be a little bit too much for the USA, in my humble opinion. This ain't third world. People are not used to nothing like that. If we're over in Africa, some parts of Asia, maybe even China, an election being skipped, it might not be as big of a deal as it'd be over here. These normies seeing something like that, man, they fall apart. It'd be a complete mess in the streets. It'd be chaos. It'd be civil unrest immediately. So I don't see the elections being postponed or canceled at all. All right, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. John Jones says, what's my take on Hillary crashing out when her hubby was in court? I'm going to do a video on that as well. So the deposition videos have been hilarious. Have you guys seen them on Bill Clinton? Bill was like, hey, Bill was like this. I'm going to get to Hillary, but Bill has some pictures. He was like this. The lawyer already saw what was going on. She see the optics because it's being recorded and she could see his face. The lawyer was like, I could kind of, it felt like she was trying to take it away from him. So he would stop doing that. He was like, no, hold on, let me get that. I was not finished looking. I remember that right there. Yeah, I don't remember that day. I miss those good old days. Miss Jeffrey Epstein. That's kind of how I felt. It was crazy. And part of me feels kind of bad because I don't like when old people are being put in those situations to be overextended. But you know what? I think at a certain point, this keeps them living because Jimmy Carter was like 100 years old when he died. And when they rolled him out there like this, I was like, bro, can he just go home and rest? But he's 100 years old, had a long life. So whatever they're doing, keeping him alive for a long time, they got long lives. Bill got to be 80 something. Hillary got to be close if she not. So they got a long life. It's all right. Now back to Hillary. I mean, I don't know if that was performative or what that was, but she always does that. That's just Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is crazy too. Like Bill, let me tell you something about Bill Clinton. People talk about Trump. They say, oh, Trump is so bad. Trump does all these crazy things. Trump this, Trump that. Were you alive during Bill Clinton? Were you around during Bill Clinton? I remember Bill Clinton very well. I was young, but I remember him very well because I was the kind of kid, I watched the news at 8 years old. So at 8 years old, this is what, 1992. So I remember Bill Clinton being elected. I remember his time in office. I remember all of that. I remember Monica Lewinsky very well. I remember when the whole story broke. And I remember I did not have sexual relations with that woman. It's almost some Epstein files. Maybe Trump did this, maybe Trump did that. Whole time, Slick Willie, as I call him, had an intern under the desk in the Oval Office. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine camera crew come in there. All right, hold on. Camera crew come in there, taking pictures. Here she comes from up under the desk, running away. I was like, what is going on here? Hey, some of these White Houses have been crazy. We saw the cocaine in the White House under Joe Biden. And we all know that was his dope fiend son that had that. I mean, if you got a dope fiend in your family and you find a crack pipe in the couch, who does it belong to? The dope fiend. Exactly. That's what happened with Hunter Biden, in my humble opinion. Don't nobody sue me from the Joe Biden estate or whatever, the Joe Biden family. Don't nobody sue me. But I'm just saying, if your son got caught on camera smoking crack, okay, and is admitted to it, it's not even a secret, and they just so happen to find some cocaine in the White House while you're the president, I'm going to just put two and two together. Now, it could have been anybody's because Capitol Hill is like that. These guys are running on 1,000. They going hard. They these dudes is gay. They all the time. You understand what I'm saying? They're super high energy, super turned up. So it could have been anybody's cocaine, but I'm just saying. I'm going to just point to the obvious suspect. You know what I mean? If there's a lineup of 10 guys and the guy in the middle is a known killer and there was a killing in the way that the killer is on to do it, I'm going to point to him, even if I didn't see him. And it might not be him, but it might as well be because he always do it. That's his MO. That's his MO. But anyway, my point behind all that, make a long story less long, is the Clinton presidency off the hook. Off the hook. And don't get me started on Slick Willie in Arkansas. Shout out to Danny Williams. Shout out to all things that he did in Arkansas, allegedly. If you guys have ever seen a documentary called Banging in Little Rock, this is about LA gang culture being imported to Little Rock, Arkansas, while Slick Willie was the governor. Okay, right around that same time, right around the time he became president. Like right around that time, when he went from the Arkansas governor to the president, Banging in Little Rock happens. It was crazy. This little small gas station, okay, in middle America became infected with LA gang culture. It was crazy. If you ever seen Snowfall, that was in the show Snowfall, where their cousin was getting drugs. That's where they were, right there in Little Rock. I got a cousin from Little Rock. He said that it was so crazy during that time that they would sit on the floor, no TV stand, TV be right on the ground because the window was at their level if they were on the couch. So they're sitting above the window like this. When a drive-by happens, which always happens, they right in a line of fire. If they sit down like this, the bullet was likely to miss them. Or they lay down and watch TV rather than being up on the couch. Does it make sense? So yeah, Bill Clinton, that whole time, the governor and the president, he was crazy. He was crazy, for real, for real. Like, it was no game at all. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. J. Marie says, do you think Rubio and JD or JD Rubio be a good ticket? Rubio and whoever. It could be Rubio and a can of basketball paint. I don't care who it is. Rubio. Give me Rubio and whoever else. Hey, man, you're welcome to come on and just join. You're welcome to be an apprentice. Give me the screwdriver. Hey, hold this light. Give me the, hold on. Had a little gnat in here because now it's springtime, it's getting warm. Now these little gnats want to start coming out. We ain't going to do that. We're not going to do that, gnats. I got some flowers right here too. Fresh flowers. They're not super fresh. So they might be getting into these flowers. And the flowers keep your home smelling so good. Yeah, my home smells real good right now. Get that fresh air in here. Get the flowers and all of that. Hey, it's going to smell real good. If your house smells like full court basketball, no deodorant, that might be a good tip. Fresh flowers and open your windows up and clean your house too, for sure. Clean your house. Ms. Vine says, do you think JD might feel like he's being stabbed in the back if Trump endorses Rubio? That's a good question, Ms. Vine. I don't think that he should feel that way. He could feel that way, but if he does, he is being selfish, in my humble opinion. He's being selfish because you shouldn't feel like that, bro. You shouldn't feel that way because, hey, man, we gotta get stuff going. We don't have time for the nonsense. We just don't. So JD Vance should not feel bad if Rubio was a guy. He should see what Rubio has been doing. He should see how hard Rubio has been working. JD Vance is not doing much of anything. JD pretty much just chilling. He's trying to learn. He's trying to become the guy that Rubio is, which is okay because at one point, Marco Rubio had to become that guy too. Rubio had to get better and more acclimated and everything else as time progressed. And JD will do the same thing. So he shouldn't feel no kind of way about that, but he might. And if he does feel some kind of way, that just further proves that he's not ready. Because you should be able to understand where you at. It's like, okay, if someone asks me, hey, ABL, where do you rank yourself as far as conservative YouTubers? I'm going to be real. I'm not going to say I'm like the top. I'm like one of the smartest people, but I'm not one of the best people as far as like people's views and whatnot. I know where I'm at. I know where my niche is. I'm honest about who I am. And that is a sign of somebody that is living in reality. And if you're not in reality, then where are you at for real? And if you're not in reality, how are you going to be the president? President can operate in reality, operate with what is real and not what they feel. No bars. I don't rap. All I do is podcasts. I don't do no rapping. Hey, I ain't trying to get nobody in my DM talking about something. Can I spit 16 on a song? I don't got nothing for you, bro. I don't got nothing. O3 Forrester says, wasn't Kennedy 35 as president? I'm not sure. That's a good question. Maybe he was, but Kennedy, JD Vance is not JFK. He's not JFK. Respectfully. Yusef says, so if Rubio wins the primary, what does JD do? Become part of the cabinet, maybe? Go back to Ohio, run for governor of Ohio or something. I don't know what JD does. I wish him the best, but for real, that's not my, hey, I wish him the best, but that's not my concern. I would like for him to continue to be in the administration to improve, because you've been here for 8 years. That's valuable on the job training that you can't get nowhere else. And I wouldn't want to see it go to waste. So I would say stay in the administration, stay in the administration, but don't be the president. Or keep being the vice president. Can you do that? Can you be the vice president again? That'd be nice. Ms. Fine says, hopefully behind the scenes, JD's getting more coaching. I hope so. And you know what? Think about JD Vance. We're from the same place originally. Well, like when I was born in West Virginia, and they took me to Virginia. They said, okay, this baby got to go to Virginia and get that kind of education out there. But I understand what West Virginia, Appalachia, Ohio was like. I understand the people, I understand the culture. JD Vance still has that kind of how to do it. That ain't really going to do it when you're talking about being the president. And I think there was some kind of movie about him or documentary about him and his wife. Have you guys ever seen that? And they were talking about how JD was not really accepted into these Ivy Leagues because he came from Ohio, Appalachia, adjacent, Middletown, Cincinnati. They want these wasps from, California, the Tom Brady looking dudes, or somebody from New York. They don't want you from middle America, country, redneck, backwater. They don't want that. And he was able to prove them wrong and succeed. But now, JD, you're not done with your quest. You got to keep going and continue to prove them wrong in this level right here in which you at. You still got somebody at Ohio in you, and that's fine. But when you're trying to become the president, you got to get past that. As simple as that. But shout out to you guys. Hopefully I didn't miss any questions. All right, let me go down here. I'm going to go down here. Pat says, well, my reality has definitely gone through some changes this last year. What has changed for you? How's your reality changed? Let me know. Rose says, still waiting for Uncle ABL video on teenage boy body odor. Now, I don't remember if you asked me this question before. So what was your question about the teenage boy body odor? What, boys not want to get in the shower? I mean, that's just boys not want to do that. I was like that when I was like real young, like not a teenager. Nah, I was washing my hind parts as a teenager, but when I was like 7, 8 years old, yeah, of course, you want to get in the shower. But when you're an adult, like, again, for me as a teenager, I was an adult by maybe 14, 15. I was pretty much an adult. Definitely 16, I was an adult already. I had my car, had a job and everything. I was an adult. My mom had left for a month and went out of town, and I had the house to myself, and I didn't do nothing crazy. I was an adult. All right, Rubio's old. Yes, he is older. All right, I'm catching up on the questions. Pardon me. I am catching up on the questions. What's going on? Blue, White, Yellow says, hey, ABL, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you as well. Thank you for joining. Thank you for rocking and rolling. 1K Scorpio says, Trump is nowhere near as eccentric as the Clintons. Nowhere near. Hillary by herself was a mess. Hillary by herself wanted to be all on the videos like Should Night. Want to be rapping. She want to be Secretary of State and all this. It's like, Melania might say 2 words and that's it. She don't really say too much of anything. All she got to do is just be Melania. Be beautiful, be Barron's mom, and then that's it. Just be in the background, just be supporting of Trump. And just be Melania. That's all she got to do. Now, Hillary wanted to be the hatchet lady. She wanted to be somebody that would come through with the with the pistol and do something to you. That's what Hillary wanted to be. But Melania is not like that. Not at all. All right, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for the compliment, Miss Fine on the voice. Charles Fleming says, Bill has extreme Parkinson's. Does he? Is that what that is? Because I can't tell. I don't know everything. It's like he was just old, Hey, Bill, he was in them pictures like it was a yearbook. Oh, There I am right there. I was on the swim team. Look, I was on the swim team. I was doing very good back in the Little Rock. I was on the swim team. That's what he was doing. It's like, bro, really? The Epstein files? You looking at it like that? Like you having fond memories? That's crazy. But hey, go ahead. Always 100 MJ says, fun fact, over the pandemic, my ex and I were home together in the YouTubes, and he got so jealous of me watching ABL, I had to create a new account. It caused such a rough. ABL got haters. Hey, bro, like, don't worry about me, man. I'm just here to help. I'm just a teacher. Don't worry about me, man. It's all good. It is all good. But yeah, the haters going to hate, man. It's okay. You know, you got to have some haters. That's part of the program, right? If you don't got no haters, then what are you doing? You know, if I was doing a bad job, I would not have haters because nobody even cared that I exist. But since I'm doing a good job, haters going to come with the territory. And people have been on my channel hating, like leaving hateful comments for years. It's to the point where I don't even want to ban them. It's like, man, I feel like you a fan. I feel like I'm just depriving you of your daily activity you enjoy. If you don't enjoy it, I can't tell. If you go to somebody's page every day and hate, you enjoy it. So I'll let you have that. Don't worry about it. It's okay. But I know what's really going on. And I ain't going to punch down like that to expose you. I'm going to just let you have that because it's fine. Hopefully one day you get your mind right. After so many years listening to ABL, at a certain point, you should get your mind together. Like, if you hate Spanish, you hate learning Spanish, but you be on Duolingo every day for the past 10 years, at a certain point, you're going to know more than Geopolitical Bell. At a certain point, you're going to know more than Geopolitical Bell. If you've been watching Spanish, hating Spanish for 10 years, you're going to learn it at a certain point, even if you hate it. And that's my objective. So welcome. So welcome. Ms. Vance says, do you think JD might feel like, oh, I already read that one. I already read that. Okay, I'm back to my, hold on. I'm so sorry. What am I doing? Please help. Hold on. Okay. Hey, man, that's that. I got panicked. It's like, what is going on? I put a filter on my thing. They put lipstick on me. It's like, wait a minute now. This ain't no transgender. This ain't no freak stuff going on. Okay. I'm a regular boy. I ain't trying to have all that extra stuff going on. So, crisis averted. I got that filter off of my screen. All right. Golet says, never thought of it as fear-mongering, but I can see how some people might look at it that way. I'm just looking at it how the world's rolling right now. And thanks for your thought. Are you talking about the elections being postponed or something like that? It's all good, bro. Don't worry about it. But it's just my humble opinion. But thank you for your comment, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for the comment. I most certainly appreciate you. Sherwood Sand Falls, I know I'm tearing your name up, and I'm sorry, it says, Hillary, excuse me, Hillary crashed out over that photo. Yusef says, Hillary takes strong women to another actress. Yusef says, Hillary takes strong women to another stratosphere. Yeah, the whole idea of a strong woman, she's crazy. I wouldn't want to be on her bad side. Man, these gnats, I think it's these flowers. What's going on? All right, we're going to have to call the exterminator because I feel like there's a couple of these gnats in here. They all on my head. Hey, I like the springtime, but some of these bugs, especially out here in Tennessee, the only problem with the bugs out here is the spiders. But I like spiders, but I don't like spiders in my house, though. I done told y'all one time I had a spider right there. It was right over there, right by the garage, about that big. Wolf spider had 1,000 babies on his back. And when it's crawling, it's like all the babies were crawling individually on his back. So imagine, okay, you got the back right here, right? And then it's like 1,000 like this. It was a mess. And you squash it and the babies go running. So I don't know the babies, if they done set up a camp, if they done set up a resistance camp and they say, hey, when we develop, people come back and we will bite you when you're asleep. When we develop, people come back and bite you. We will destroy you when you're asleep. Do not rest. Never rest. So one day they might come back on me. I don't know. Hopefully, hey, praise God. Hopefully he saved me because it's going to be a mess. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. What's going on? Salid says, Ayo ABL, In-N-Out or Shake Shack, support from Australia. Well, shout out to you out there in Australia, land down under. But to be totally honest, I've not had either one that much. I think I was at Shake Shack one time. Where was I at? Miami, I believe. Yeah, I was down Brickell. Imagine that, Shake Shack at Brickell, but I just wanted to try it. I never had it before. It was all right. I wasn't really a big fan. And In-N-Out, I've not been there before. And because they don't have them over here. Like, there's no Shake Shack. There might be a Shake Shack out here. I don't know where it's at, though. I mean, it's kind of like out the way. And In-N-Out, I saw one when I was in LA, but I didn't go to it. Because I wanted to walk there, but I don't know these streets like that. I'm not trying to get in a sticky situation, you know what I mean? But, yeah, so to answer your question, I don't really know much about either of them because there's not any of those near me. I think there might be an In-N-Out somewhere because a lot of the Californians are coming over here. They're building out Whataburger and In-N-Out. Excuse me. So they're building these things, but I've not been to them yet. So we'll see. No bugs in Utah, huh? Well, hey, lucky you. Sheridan Falls, I know I'm tearing your name up and I'm sorry, but lucky you. No bugs in Utah. Hold on. Marco, that's your name? Says, Anthony, get a small jar, put some apple cider vinegar and drop a dishwashing liquid and the gnats will gravitate to it and you'll be done with it. You're right. I've done that before. Yeah, I've done that before, gnat trap. Because I used to have, back in the day, I had this really big plant, like a big house plant in my house, and it had gnats real bad. Because I think it might have been outdoor at first, which is a bad thing. Like these are not outdoor. They were in the store. But the one I had, it was outside. So all my outdoor plants stay outdoor. I got 2 plants in the front and I got my shrubs in the front. But all those stay outdoors. But my live plants, I get them straight from the store. And hopefully they weren't really outside for a long time. They've been inside for a long time. So the bugs are going to be minimal. You know. But I have done that trap before with the apple cider vinegar. You're totally right. Might have run it back. Do it again. Detective Autobot says, spider refugees, hey man, we're going to get you in your sleep. To never rest. You can never rest as long as we are here. We will avenge our mother's death. You will not get away with this. Yeah, you're going to pay for your crime. You must suffer for your crime. Shout out to my Africans though. I love doing your accent because I can do it so easily because y'all like my cousins. So I can tap into that very easily. I can do the Shaq. Hey, this is Shaq. This is Kilo O'Neal. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here to play basketball. I'll be in all the girlfriends' DMs. I'll be in random girls' DMs that have 5 followers because I can't get enough and I'm going to get them all. I'm going to pay them all the money in the world. That's Shaq. That's Shaq. Hey, if you're watching Shaq, you know I'm dead right. Don't even get mad. Don't even do it. Hey, I'm going to see you inside the NBA. Hey, man, I saw your stream. I didn't like your stream. You're mispersonalizing my character. Don't do that, Shaq. You know I'm telling the truth. Don't even worry about it. I know a lot of girls you know too, but we ain't gonna talk about that right now. Hey, I ain't no snitch, but I know, if you know, you know. All right, Always 100 MJ says, LA native, In-N-Out. Okay, is that the verdict from LA native, In-N-Out? Well, there we go. We got the question answer right there from Always 100 MJ, 100. Salit says, I miss Cheesecake Factory, can't wait to visit the US again. Shout out to the Cheesecake Factory. Shout out to Cheesecake Factory. I ain't been there in a while because they opened one here some years ago. And you got to go to a good one because some of them are not run very well. Some of them are a little janky. Okay, they got one in Atlanta too. It was a big rat in there running around like it was like owning the place. It was like a once in a while incident, but that did happen. And the one out here, it wasn't really that. It was just like they didn't have a good back of the house staff, dirty dishes. I used to work in a restaurant and my dishes would be spotless. Hey, if I was on the shift and I was a dishwasher, your dishes would be spotless. Hold on. It's just like this right here. Hold on. Like, do you see how spotless that is? Do you see how spotless that is though? Like, straight out the jank. I ain't just select one randomly. I ain't just select one selectively. This is random. You see how clean that is? We don't got no gunk up in there in the center. We don't do that. We don't do that. Nah. My dishes, spotless. Over there, got crumbs on it, water spots, dirty water. And I can tell when they've not changed that dishwashing machine water. And they might have a big machine. We had a machine that was so big, you had to crawl up under it. You had to like squat down because the bar was like this high, maybe about that high. You had to squat down and get up under it to clean it. And you had to take out the jets individually. I think it was like, how many jets to push the water up? Because the way the machine worked, it was big. You had to get up under it. It was usually one guy loading the front end, and they go in the conveyor belt. and then it goes in these tanks. It's like 2 tanks, and the rack would be like this big. And the tank can hold 2 at a time. So one right here and 1 tank, one in the other, and it's 2 tanks side by side. The tank might have been about a little bit bigger than this refrigerator. A little bit bigger than that. From here up, and then in the drink part right here, a little bit wider than that, probably like to this end of this wall. And this part right here, that'll be where the jets are. And the jets will push water and soap up. And at the top you had jets as well that'll push water down, and that'll clean your dishes. You had to go in there and manually clean the jets just to have gunk on it from the food, and it'd be gunk in the water. You got to change the water and clean the jets. And sometimes you have dishes that break, and you have glass in the jets. So it was a whole big process. If you didn't clean it right, the water would be dirty on the actual plate. So when you get a plate that got stuff on it, like it's kind of like a little dirty, a little gritty, it's because they're not cleaning the machine properly. And what you're getting is food from other plates on your plate. It's not actually totally clean. And they got that kind of stuff going on at Cheesecake Factory out here. It's like, that right there is a sign of a bad back at the house. Bad manager. Because if you don't have a dishwasher that can do anything, you got to go back there as manager and do it. You can't just let that kind of stuff go on. You got a bad manager. They don't care. They're not getting paid enough. Me? If they call me Logan back then, because he had everybody named me Anthony. If Logan was back there, I would never, ever. But yeah, shout out to Cheesecake Factory though. Hold on. Cynthia says, I put my plants outside every summer. I don't have too much problem with the bugs when I bring them in. Okay, well there you go. Shout out to you. You know, I don't know what it is out here. Maybe it's different, but them gnats, man, they love these indoor plants out here specifically. It's a little warmer out here too. Maybe that's it. Sharon Fall says, I work in Nigeria, you're spot on. Oh, I'm spot on with my accent. I got it correct, don't I? I have the accent spot on. Thank you for the compliment. I cannot do the show without you. Thank you for your compliment. Farmer says, ABL O'Neill, 100. Always 100 MJ says, In and Out for us is like a religion. We are so serious about it. The most simple menu, simple, fresh ingredients. You watch them cut your tomatoes right there. The best. Oh, is that right? Okay. Well, when I go to LA next time, I got to go to In-N-Out Burger and see what's really going on with it. See if it really lives up to the hype. To see if it is, in fact, the bee's knees. Yeah, I'm going to go out there and see what's up with it, for sure. Yusef says, not going to lie, I miss the ignorance I got at Waffle House. You miss the fight. 2 o'clock in the morning, Waffle House, there's going to be some rumbling going on. Hey, one of the funniest times in my life happened at the Waffle House, or it might have been IHOP in Virginia. Me and 2 of my friends, we out late. It's like 2 a.m., something like this. And we're sitting down at the booth, eating or whatever, talking, hanging out. And this couple comes in, guy and a girl. The girl is a little hefty, a little husky, as they say back in the day in the kids section of the clothes store. Anyway, she was a tad bit husky. She sat down on the booth that was attached to my friend's booth. And when she sat down, it was so much force from her big back, it kind of like pushed him up. He was crying, laughing. He couldn't stop it. They looking back mad, but it's like, yo, come on. You all are 400 pounds, pop it down in this booth, and they're attached. So the air, I don't know how it transferred, but it kind of shot him up a little bit. He on the seat like this, it kind of went like that, crying. Good memories in the IHOP, Waffle House, all those good places. 2 o'clock in the morning, anything can happen. You never know what can happen. Somebody might get in a fight. Somebody might do something crazy, be drunk, crying, acting the fool. Good times back in the day. Adam says, any opinion on Hot Twins, unfavorable opinion on the Iran war? I've not really watched it, but shout out to Hot Twins. Those are my guys right there from Virginia, 2 up, 2 down. But I've not really watched their opinion on that. I Compose Music says, hi, ABL, just popped in to say hi. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. She says, can't stay on tonight, sadly. Well, I'm glad you came in, and thank you for joining. I appreciate you. And thank you for joining the YouTube as well. I appreciate you for that. Shout out to you. Thank you for joining. Adam says, Trump betrayed his own voters, yada. I mean, Anybody could have seen the Iran thing coming. And like I said before, if Trump doesn't do that, it's not like they don't do anything. If we do nothing, then they do something. Regardless, it don't matter. It's not like our strike over there is the reason why they've been fighting over there. They've been fighting over there since the beginning of time. They've been fighting in that part of the world since humanity has formed. And it'll never stop. Especially if Islam is right there. Because as you all know, and shout out to the Muslims if you're here, shout out to you, assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam, you know, all that good stuff, right? Thank you for watching. However, we all know that wherever Muslims go, terror attacks are going to follow. We know that all over the world. I did a video where I showed it in the live stream where they were talking about terror attacks over in Myanmar with the Rohingyas. You may see things like the Rohingyas being some persecuted group and they're so helpless and they have no home, they're refugees. Well, what they're not saying is that the Rohingya commit terror attacks and the people of that area who are not Muslim are tired of it and there's actions against them because of the terror attacks. You had to have the monks come out from the mountain, bald head, robe on, all of that, talking about the Muslims keep committing terror attacks. Now we got to fight. The guys who are dedicated to nonviolence, not fighting, all about peace in the mountain, got to come out of the mountain and fight because of the Muslims committing terror attacks. Not all of them are going to commit terror attacks. It might not even be the majority of them, but it's too many. And it's a consistent thing that happens all over the world. We just saw one in Texas. They're talking about it's because of the Iran war. Oh, okay. So before strike on Iran, there was no terror attacks on Muslims, right? Oh, okay. So in Europe, when you have these Christmas festivals, these Christmas markets in Germany, places like that, they got to put up these bollards in the ground to prevent the Muslims from committing a terror attack with their car, running into the crowd and killing people. I mean, come on. And again, not all, not even the majority. But if you say I'm lying, you're lying. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Cynthia Webb says most restaurants have the water spots on the dishes. ABL would never. If I was a dishwasher, you'd have spotless dishes every time, guaranteed. I was crazy. Like I just have I got a high motor. I got a strong work ethic, a high motor. I'm always up. I'm turned up. Yeah. Hey, me and Larry go back there, tear it up. We be back there like Energizer bunnies. You know, I was like the best they had. I came back one time to get my check and like a little award they gave me. And one of the managers was like, hey, we missed you. Can you come back? Or we've missed you. How much to come back? I was like, yeah, I need $100 a day. Today's price is not yesterday's price. You know, I made $650 an hour, $800 a week on a 40-hour week, but now I'm gonna need $100 a day. So rather than the $800, I'm gonna need $1,200. So what's up? I was just kind of playing because I really wasn't trying to wash dishes no more. I was good at that point. And she told the boss, she was like, hey, he said he'd come back for $100 a day. I was like, no, I'm good. I'm straight. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right. Thank you, Marie. I appreciate it. Thank you. Listen to me all night. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Jeff says, crazy how easy it is to clean out commercial dishwashers and no one does it. I was a bartender for 12 years. Yeah. I mean, that should be a thing that's done. Like for us, it was not even a matter of choice. We had to do that because if you're getting the customers to complain, now we got a problem. But eventually that store kind of fell because Golden Corral was whooping us up and we couldn't do a lot as far as repairs and maintenance on the actual building. So it kind of just fell. And then they eventually went bankrupt. But when we were cracking, when everything was rolling, oh no. I can go anywhere right now and be a line cook or a dishwasher if I wanted to. Anywhere. It don't matter. Maybe when I get to be much older, I might do something like that just on the weekend, just on GP. I could be 80 years old doing that just on GP. Jeff said Mexicans are too busy playing grab, AA, AS, you know the rest, in the back of the house. And you know what? We never had any Mexicans in the back of the house. No Mexicans at all. It was black, white, and Filipino. 0 Mexicans. Now, the Filipinos might count as Mexican, but they were not Mexican. They're Filipino. Great people. Hey, I love the Filipino people. Love them. And y'all know I'm 1% Filipino. I'm gonna always say that because I love them so much. I love their culture, the people, the food, all about them. Southeast Asians in general, the Vietnamese, the Thai, the Cambodian, the Lao, the Burmese, the Filipino, and then even like Indonesia, like some of them too. Shout out to them. Shout out to Java. And then shout out to the Pacific Islanders, Vanuatu and all of them. Shout out to y'all out there. Jeff says, In-N-Out next to LAX is the busiest in the world, smallest bathrooms. And that's the one I saw when I was in LA, because I was staying right by LAX, so I saw that one. Now, is that a safe area right there by LAX? Could I walk from there to the hotel that I was staying at? Because there's a bunch of hotels right there by the airport. Like the airport I was in, I could see the runway. I could see the plane taking off and landing. That's how close I was. So if I went to that one, if I walked there in the daytime, would I be all right? Or would it be a homeless dude with some weapons trying to do something to me? Like, what we doing? Cynthia says, I bring them in right before it gets really cold, so maybe the cool weather kills most of the bugs. Maybe so. Maybe so. Yeah, maybe so. Always says, you would love an ABL for real. You'll eat clean like I do. That's the cleanest fast food you're going to get. They cut the potatoes into fries right there, but always get the fries well done. Okay. All right. Sounds good. It does sound very appetizing. I'm going to check it out. What's going on, Andre Hatchett, with the American flag emoji? Shout out to you, man. Thank you for joining. Shout out, Andre Hatchett. Shout out to you, Adam, for the American flag emoji. I appreciate it. All right. Adam says, still crazy how people think Kamala would have been a better option. People don't know anything. They have no idea. They don't even know who that is. Like I said before, I did videos back when she said that she was going to be the nominee, or when they appointed her to be the nominee. Everybody voted for Joe Biden in the primary, and all of a sudden, it was not Joe Biden, it was Kamala Harris. So everybody was rushing to see, like, yo, who is this? They had no idea who that was. All my videos about Kamala Harris, gangbusters, because nobody knew who that was. Everybody was just mass consuming whatever they can about this lady who they had no idea who it was to be the president. That was crazy. I still can't get over that. So the Democrats just let them do that. And what I mean by Democrats is the people of America just let the Democrats do that. They just let the Democrats have one guy as a person who was running to be the president. They all vote for him in the primary. There's no opponents. And then last minute, they say he ain't going to be the guy. It's going to be Kamala. And when I say they, I mean the Democratic Party. We're not going to even honor your request. We're just going to put Kamala in there. And then they say, oh, well, she was on the ticket. Well, she was not on top of the ticket. If I buy a ticket to see, let's say, Beyonce, I wouldn't do that really. I'm not trying to hear Video Phone and Survivor, all that kind of stuff anyway. But let's just say for some reason I bought a Beyonce concert ticket. And then when I get there, it's local people on stage rapping. It's like, I want to see I'm a Survivor. I ain't trying to see these ragamuffins from the hood up there rapping, mumble rapping. I didn't pay for this. Oh, but they were on the ticket. They were the opener act. Well, where's she at? She got to be the opener. She got to be the person that's really on here. It was like that. I didn't like that too much for them. But hey, if they are taking that behavior and they're willing to accept it, then so be it. If they are willing to accept it, then so be it. Cynthia Webb says, why do you think there have been any terror attacks here in recent years? Well, there's been some, but it's not really been any big ones because we got good counterintelligence. There was going to be one in Dearborn, where all the Muslims are, in Michigan, but they were able to get ahead of that. They got a lot of counterintelligence to prevent these things from happening. So that's probably the reason we get better technology and we're able to surveil things pretty closely to be able to detect when there could be a terror attack. Also, people have gotten dumber. People are doing stuff on their phone when they shouldn't be. Like the lady that got caught with the student or whatever, the minor, she ordered a Plan B pill on DoorDash. A moron. She did the same thing Sharon Moore did. So you're going to have an inappropriate relationship with somebody, and then to hide the evidence of the relationship, you're going to buy a Plan B pill on DoorDash. Paper trail right there. You got the evidence of you doing it on your app. They're probably going to have the guy go to court and tell on you, and they're going to have video evidence of him going from the store to wherever you at to give you the pill. People are dumber. They're using their phones, and we've gotten better with our technology and everything else in the meantime. So that's probably why there's not as many terror attacks as there could be in the USA. Yusef says, Kamala wouldn't have known how to handle this Iran issue. Our country would be doomed. Oh, yeah. It would have been a mess. It would have been a crazy mess. Cynthia says, September people are known for being meticulous also. Well, I'm very meticulous. Absolutely. Yeah, I'll to the T, for sure. Very meticulous. I feel like things run better when you're meticulous. When you're exact and precise and correct, things just work better. When things are a little bit off and all of that, it's like, if I'm a little bit off and then things don't go well, or they don't go as well as what they should have gone, then I look at my lack of detail as the reason, and oftentimes it is the reason. And even if it's not, if I did things right, it would have been better. You says, I'm out, my guy. Peace, blessings, much love. Sir, keep up the great work. Thank you, man. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you, boss. Thank you for joining. Adam says, ABL opening a restaurant. Hey, you never know, man. I'm a very good cook. Very good cook. Anybody ever had my food? Don't even worry about it. Like, it's the best. Like, it's going to be nice and healthy and clean and refreshing. You're going to feel like a whole brand new person. For sure. Always 100 says, I started waiting at 14. I bust, did dishes, did it all. I was scrubbing the floors with the simple green, washing dishwasher with the white vinegar, busting my butt day 1 till day 9. That's what I'm talking about. That's that good work ethic you got. I like that. Very good. Very good work ethic. Absolutely. At 14 years old, you had drive, determination, and you had a stick-to-itiveness. People don't have that too much nowadays. So that's a very good trait to have. Shout out to you. Yusef says also, speaking of kitchens, I don't even want Kamala in there, just saying. I'm with you, man. Thank you for joining. 03 Forrester says, did you get free food when you worked in a restaurant? Yeah, of course. I mean, they gave us like 1 meal a day, I think. We could go in there and just go to the line and get free food. But then, I mean, toward the end of Old Country, I used to take food. Like, when they would throw food away, I take it. I take some. Yeah. And some other guys would take some, get to their family and stuff like this, because it's like, okay, all we're going to do is throw the food away. Like, literally, at the end of the night, if the food does not get eaten that we make for the bar, it gets put in the trash. I'm talking about chicken, baked chicken, fried chicken, steak, vegetables, all of that. So I take stuff home. Yeah, I would eat when I was there, which I was allowed to do. At the end of the night, I'm taking food home, and nobody really tripped because it's going to go in the garbage anyway. So it was okay. But I didn't take food beyond my 1 meal in a day, and I didn't take anything other than the trash. All right, so shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Jeff says to keep it clean around the airport for security. Oh, okay. Talking about the In-N-Out burger. Okay, I'm with it. So that's a point noted. That was a nice little area. The hotel, the hotels by the airport, it was cool. I mean, you got some weird people out there. I saw a dude looking like he might have been a Hollywood actor at one point, extra. The white dude might have been about 65 years old with some suspenders on. And it was kind of like Pee Wee Herman-esque, but no jacket on. You understand what I'm saying? Pee Wee Herman-esque, but no jacket, but suspenders in the white shirt. Digging in the trash can. Okay, digging in the trash can like it was just nothing. You went from the Hollywood set straight to the trash can. That's kind of how LA can be sometimes, from what I was able to see. But I got to be there for a while to really experience it better, because I feel like if you don't have the proper guide with you and the proper people with you, it's kind of hard to experience it right. I did not like the way I got treated in Manhattan Beach at that store. You know, one thing about LA, California, and certain parts of the country, if you look like me, big, tall, black guy, I'm scary to some people. Now, anybody that know me know I'm not going to harm a fly. I'm the nicest guy in the world. If I'm not being threatened. If I'm being threatened, that's a different story. But if I'm just minding my business, I'm not going to do nothing to nobody. But people are afraid. They think I'm going to steal. They think I'm going to do something to them. But so with that prejudice, sometimes you're going to experience negative, interactions. But sometimes you get very good reactions or interactions. But I got to know kind of where to go and how to move around a little bit over there to have the best experience. I don't see very many guys look like me talking about I had a good time in LA. Now if you're looking like Derek Jeter or something like that, it might be different. If you're looking like Manny Ramirez, you're looking like, Sammy Sosa, when he turned white, maybe, I don't know. But over here in Atlanta, like over here in the South, never had no problems. I could be in Kentucky, West Virginia, Georgia, the Carolinas, Alabama, Virginia. I don't get that same kind of treatment. Now, if you go into a little small town where it's like 100% white and it's isolated, that's different. If I go to West Virginia, where I'm from, Canal County, it's okay. But if I go to some of them hollers where, don't nobody go, it's like 10 families, they're all white, they've been there since 1800, they're interbred, it's going to be some problems. Not because of anything else other than their extreme isolation, the inbreeding, and nobody like you having any business there. But if I go to LA, it shouldn't be like that, right? This is a big city, metropolitan place. 034 says, In-N-Out is in Tennessee, not sure what city. I'm sure they're in Nashville. They might be here where I live, but not quite where I live. Because the California people live like toward downtown. I'm farther away. I'm not really over there. So they live downtown and they live like in Fort Ord, Georgia, which is like to the south of downtown. So probably over there. I was over there recently and I saw some stuff. Like I saw a Whataburger over there. Like, I'm gonna tell you something. Atlanta is growing so big. It's becoming like New York. And the sprawl is crazy. I live an hour and a half away from Atlanta, but I put Atlanta on my bio because I might as well be in Atlanta. And if anybody want to do a podcast with me in Atlanta, it's fine. I could just drive down. I'll be there in an hour and a half. It's easy. And the building is happening everywhere, all over northern Georgia. Dalton, Georgia, they built stuff over there. Dalton is cracking. Shout out to Dalton. If you know, you know. Okay, if you Mexican or Guatemalan, any kind of Central American, Dalton's going to be the place for you. If you're a Mexican person, you speak it Spanish especially, go to Dalton. I'm telling you right now, get real estate. If you could speak Spanish and you are into real estate or anything like that, any kind of service-based business, and you're trying to relocate from California specifically or Texas, Dalton, Georgia. And that's like a continuation of the metro kind of. Once you get out of the Atlanta metro, the CSA, the combined statistical area, which includes Calhoun and stuff like that, once you get beyond that, Dalton is right there, and that's growing. And so is Chattanooga. And then, because of the California folks, the way far north, like Fort Oglethorpe, Ringgold, all of that is growing as well. Okay, Dream Overflow says, death to Israel. Okay, well, good for you. Good for you. And you know what? All the Israel people talking, everybody talking about Israel this, Israel that. I'm going to ask y'all a question. Who could have done what they did over there? Because let's not get it twisted. Israel did that because we want that. They are doing our bidding and they're putting themselves at risk because Iran is right there. Excuse me. They can be hit with missiles from Iran and they've already been hit. They're going to experience casualties because of how close it is. Now, us in America, we don't got to worry about Iran hitting us. Well, I should hope not. They don't got no ICBM, I don't believe. And if they did, it'd get shot down. But they're going to experience the brunt of that. So the people that hate Israel is like, for what? Why? You think they run the show? They work with us. Without them and without us, the world would not function the way it does. If there's no Israel and no USA, you have Afghanistan worldwide. Period. That's just the bottom line. What are the Europeans going to do about Iran having nukes? What are they going to do? What's UK going to do? UK ain't nothing but Afghanistan part 2. What they gonna do? What's Germany gonna do? What's France gonna do? Anybody gonna do nothing. And then once you get out further east, that's Russia. And they gonna be on Iran's side. So who are your allies? Who's gonna be able to help you? China, the same thing, they're gonna be on Russia's side. Who are your allies? Who's gonna help you? The Israel talk just is ignorant of what the real situation is globally with geopolitics. You don't really get it. But hey man, everybody got their opinion. It's fine. That's right, Rose. Kamala, what the borders are. Let that thing wide open. Wide open. Sherson Fall says anyone who thinks California Newsom anyone who thinks those Californians, Newsom and/or Harris, could get anything done are crazy. Exactly. I agree. Always 100 MJ says LA is safe in pockets. Right next to LAX is both a quaint beach town, and down the street is Crenshaw. In South LA, where I grew up, straight hood people don't really walk LA. Oh, okay. People don't walk LA. Okay, I see. I saw that too. Everybody's on the road. I like to walk. So I like, my favorite walkable place is Miami, Florida. Because it's not, well, Brickell. Brickell. And the beaches, South Beach, stuff like that, but Brickell for sure. New York, I mean, I don't know. I'm about to go to New York again, but New York is just so condensed. I need people around, but not like all up on me. You know what I mean? I don't want everybody to like be right here. I ain't trying to smell your breath. I ain't trying to smell your weed. I ain't trying to smell your crack smoke, your hair. Miami, Florida is a great place to be walking around. Atlanta, even on the Beltline. Shout out to the Beltline people. Beltline, pat like I-75. Hey, the Beltline pat like 285 on the northwest side. It's pat like that. Salih says, ABL, do you collect Pokemon cards or One Piece cards at all? I don't. Shout out to the Pokemon card collectors or One Piece. I never really was into One Piece. I did watch Pokemon a little bit, but I'm a little bit old for that. So Pokemon came like when I was a little bit older. So I had baseball cards and stuff like that. I had baseball cards. I had like Marvel X-Men cards. I had comics. I had all of that. Yeah. And I regret, I don't know, I threw them away, but I lost all my comic collection. I had X-Men 25, where they took the animatic out of Wolverine. Remember that? When Magneto took all the adamantium out, I had that episode, that comic. And I remember getting it from the store. I might have been like 8, 9 years old. It was beautiful. It was like right there on the rack. Because you know how it is. You'd be in the store with your mom, and it's a rack right there with comic books on it, and it was sitting right there. I think it might have been like $5. Crazy expensive. But it had the holographic card on the front with him normal, and then with the adamantium out. It was the artwork was crazy on the front. I used to draw back then too. We drew a comic like in 6th grade. Yeah, so I was into that type of stuff. I didn't know about Pokemon or One Piece at all. That might have been a little bit past my time, because my time of collecting cards was like 1991, 1992, 1993, up to like 94, that era. All right, so shout out to you guys. Cynthia Webb says, I feel like we had the technology during about the time when we did have a lot of terror attacks. I was thinking it was some type of political strategy. Well, I think technology now has gotten a lot better with AI and everything. It's gotten a lot better. It's gotten better in ways that I don't even really understand how to put into words. Jeff says, you weren't wearing designer seat pants. That's why they tripped. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, boss. I'm not sure. Oh, designer sweatpants. Okay. Oh, okay. I got it. Yeah. I ain't look like, but I feel like I don't look like I'm a bum though. People act like, I've been asked, am I a celebrity? Am I a politician? Because you don't see a guy looking like me that often. Okay. I'm tall with this beard. I look like I'm younger than what I am, even with the beard. So people think that I'm like, I got asked like, am I a celebrity? Like somebody asked me in Atlanta, was I on the Real Housewives? I was like, no, I was just in the restaurant minding my business. I get those kind of questions. Okay, so I don't look bummy. I always look nice. I look like I could be somebody. But in some places, it's not that way. They're going to see tall black guy. He's scary. He might steal. He might do something to me. That's kind of the vibe it was over in Los Angeles. But I don't get that vibe down here. I get the good treatment down here. Just from my point of view, but everybody's different. Just like some say, when they go to Atlanta, they get bad treatment, they get bad customer service. I never had that problem with Atlanta having bad customer service. I think if that's a consistent problem with bad customer service, it's you. It's you going to those places where you could get bad customer service. Like, okay, I don't like going to the place where they got a hookah and the grass wall and they playing loud music. That's Midtown activities. I don't like stuff like that. That's like Midtown activities. You go into some grass wall place by the Moxie right there. That's Spring Street, 14th Street activities. I don't do that. I'd be outside the perimeter in Cobb County. I'd be way up the cab. I'll be up there. I don't be there because you're going to get a weird kind of element anyway. You're going to get a weird element, especially in Midtown. Hey, I was in Midtown one time on a date with a young lady. Shout out to you if you're watching. I'm in Midtown, and the energy is like, okay, we at a table eating. Here comes dude, he's going back and forth. Now, I see him, but I don't pay him no mind. The girl's like, he keep looking at you. I see the same dude outside, like, as we're leaving, he's kind of like waiting. But he's looking the opposite way, like, as if to not look at me directly, but he wants me to say something to him. That's that down low activity. I see some of y'all in Atlanta doing stuff like that. But see, you know what? I don't even encounter that because I don't even go down Midtown. That was my one time eating out Midtown and that kind of area. Never again. You got to go to where it makes more sense for you. If I go to a certain part of Los Angeles, that's why I say I need a guide. Tell me to go the right direction. If I go to a certain part of LA where they don't really like black people like that, then that's my decision. I didn't know where I was going. Also, if you are in the place where you got something weird going on, you got to understand how to handle it. Now, I'm not going to flash out on this dude because he's being weird. I'm just going to ignore him. Sometimes somebody want to flash out. They want to say something. Now we got a conflict. I'm not trying to go to jail and trying to put his cell phone out and see ABL fighting some dude, or even worse. How about this? Let's just say the dude is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu champion. He got a black belt, all kind of stuff, and I don't even know it. Here I am trying to be big tough guy. Hey, stop looking at me. Next thing I know, he got me like this. He's slamming me on my head, and then they're recording it. Now I'm embarrassed. Okay? Moral of the story is you got to understand how to behave when things aren't going the way you thought they would. And then you won't have really bad experiences. And you got to go where it makes the most sense for you to be. That's how that go. Jeff Jamie says, El Segundo is near LAX, low key and chill. Yes, that El Segundo. I was there. I went to El Segundo. I went to they got this place, this outdoor place where they got a bunch of shops and restaurants. Because I went to the Cava out there in El Segundo. And I walked from El Segundo down to Manhattan Beach. It was like an hour, maybe 45 minutes to an hour walk. Yeah, because what happened, let me tell you what happened. So that morning, I take Jubilee down in the hood, Inglewood, whatever that was, Inglewood, Slauson. I'm seeing these big gates, barbed wire. It looked like Johannesburg, South Africa. Okay, straight Johannesburg, South Africa. That's how it looked down there, Inglewood, Slauson. Ghetto. Now, once I left there, I was going to go back to the hotel and put on some shorts and go down to the beach. But the Uber was like so expensive, like $75. And then I got to go from the hotel to Cava and then down to the beach. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go straight down to the hotel. Pardon me. I'm going to go straight down to the Cava, El Segundo, and I'm going to walk from there. And once I get there, I'm going to go to a shop and buy some shorts because it'll be the same price. I might as well have more beach time, get there earlier, and get a pair of shorts rather than going back to the hotel to put my shorts on. I don't get that money back. I can get the money back by keeping a pair of shorts. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, so I did El Segundo. It was cool. It was cool out there. But it's not a very black friendly place. If you are a black person, a dark skinned black person, you can get ignored. Yeah, you can get ignored. That's where I got ignored, was in Manhattan Beach. But if you are a Mexican person or a white person, it's straight. You don't gotta worry about it. Always 100 MJ says, I'm a proud LA native, but had to bounce after Newsom destroyed it. Moved out to the mountains, 25 acres, tiny home, greenhouses, and livestock. Hey, that's a dream right there. That is a dream. I would love a tiny house. I would love a tiny house. My house right now, 2,800, 4.3, is a little big. Me by myself, I don't even really be in the whole house. Like, the whole wing of the house, I don't even be over there. You know, I'm just keeping this because I'm going to probably sell it eventually, you know, and it's a nice location. But a tiny home with acres is definitely, green acres is the place to be. I want that. That's a dream. The Dragon says, I keep yelling at my brother about getting rid of his comic collection. I could have sold that to pay my college fines. Hey, man, let him keep it because it's going to be worth a lot more in the future. It's like having stock. So let him keep it. I wish I had mine still. I wish I had mine for sure. I keep that thing forever. Absolutely. Green Acre. Always 100 MJ says, I had a career in tech and did the commute on 405 for too long. It was too disheartening to watch the destruction of Los Angeles I loved. Really unfortunate. Miss Von says, OMG, that DL guy was checking you out. It's a lot of that in Atlanta. It's a lot of that, but not that much, more than anywhere else. People say that Atlanta is like, it's like where all the gay men are at. People, let me just say this, since I'm right here talking about Atlanta. A lot of women say that Atlanta is full of gay or DL men, and that's why they can't find a man in Atlanta. No, the reason is because there's too many women in Atlanta. It's not because of the men being gay, because there's a lot of gay women out there too. A lot of gay women, a lot of bulldaggers, a lot of lesbians, a lot of all of that in Atlanta. Okay, I knew a girl way back in the day trying to get with her, and then I realized she had a channel on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram with her and her girlfriend on it. I was like, what is this? It's a lot of that going on, but that's all over the country. It's not just Atlanta. The problem with Atlanta is that it's just too many women. The ratio was crazy. So you're not going to find a man all to yourself. You're going to share. If the man is heterosexual, you're going to share him. If he's available and says that you're the only one, he's probably gay, living a double life. So you're still sharing them. The difference, you think that it's just your man and that's it. Well, meanwhile, you got a whole other boyfriend on the side. He might even have 2 or 3 boyfriends. You know what I'm saying? That's what's happening on the side. But when the guy says, I got more than one girl, he's probably most likely 100% heterosexual. That's what's happening. It's not about nothing else. It's just the numbers. Move somewhere else other than Atlanta. Move somewhere where it makes sense to move. Move somewhere where it's not such an oversaturation of what you do, of who you are in that place. Or just go there when you're already married. Sherrison says, you never know who can stomp you in the wine. You never know, man. Hey, I'm not no big tough guy. I ain't trying to start no fight at all. If you ever see me fighting, it's because somebody done punched me in the face or something like this. But beyond that, man, I ain't picking no fight and mess around to get beat up by some dude in high heels. I done seen it happen. I done seen guys get dumped on top of their head by a guy wearing drag. I done seen it with my own 2 eyes. I like, man, go ahead. But hey, you know what? That's why I say all this transgender, that, at the end of the day, they're still a man. At the end of the day, whatever you want to call yourself, however you want to identify, is fine. But you are still a boy. Up all of that, the makeup and the wig and all of this and that, you're still a boy at the end of the day. So don't come with this, I'm just a girl. Oh, okay. Meanwhile, your punch force is like Mike Tyson. Man, please, I ain't trying to get knocked out, man, by some dude looking like Magic Johnson's son. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, but let me see. I got a few more here. Then I'm going to wrap it on up, put the bow on top. That boy strength. Hey, that boy strength. A whole dress, the wig, makeup, but that boy strength. Beat you down like you stole something, stomp you in the wine, stomp you clean in the wine. Hey, doing an Irish dance on your joint, you be a whole red wine at the end of the day. I ain't trying to get beat up like that. And then on top of that, it's going to be World Star. You're going to be all on the internet. TMZ, you're going to pick it up. It's going to be crazy. I'm going to be on podcasts. They're talking about some. So ABL, when you got beat up by that dude in the restaurant, how did that feel? And what was he wearing? Was he wearing Louboutin heels? You got beat up by a dude with some red bottoms on? Did he have a BBL? Embarrassing. I ain't trying to have that happen to me. No, I'm good. Don't worry about it. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. All right, I'm about to get up out of here. You guys have been great. The time has flown by. It's already 10:30. I can start this a little bit. And look, I was on time today. I was a little bit early, like 8:58. So, hey, pat on the back to me. But I'll be back streaming tomorrow on the YouTubes at 8 p.m. Eastern to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, it's like 10:30 right now. But anyway, I'm going to stream from 8 to 11 Eastern Time tomorrow on the YouTubes and also on Saturday. And I'm here each and every Wednesday on the Instagrams at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's pretty much all I got. Until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.